Grand rising, grand arrival, grand return. Peace and blessings to the righteous and the repentant alike. This is the Don't Miss It podcast with your host, Sophia Spiritualite, part of the MariKaNa News Network. This is a podcast where we discuss the news of the week for a very particular week, and we also discuss executive actions and details that are cultural and political in nature. This podcast episode is the second one for this week, so this is going to cover February 7th through 9th, and we're just going to roll on through this information here. There's a lot of news, not as much news as the first episode of the week, but these episodes come out every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, and again, they cover the news for the week and also executive actions, plus cultural stuff that's very difficult to find, in retrospect. So we're just delineating the timeline, all right? So everyone knows what's going on. So the first day... All right, my apologies. I got interrupted by children. All right, so Friday, February the 7th, 2025. We find out that Paul Ryan is getting USAID money. This is horrific. Paul Ryan was a terrible person. He was the Speaker of the House during Trump's first term, and he is a complete sellout. And he's also receiving USAID money. And we're going to find out as the days progress that most of the people in the Congress, both houses, are receiving USAID money through either the National Endowment for Democracy, the International Republican Institute, or the International Democratic Institute, as well as other ways, but for sure those three organizations. Okay, this is the real uniparty, which comes out, I don't know if today or next week, but people start to realize USAID is the uniparty. These people are all making their money from these other organizations. Okay. Oh, today is the Mayan New Year's. The Mayan New Year starts today. That'll be over on my spiritual channel. We talk about that. Leangelo Ball debuts new music, which is still pretty good. Shamanics in USAID is a top recipient, and it's tied to perception management. Now, what is perception management? It's propaganda, and so shamanics is one of them, propaganda arms, and there's a lot of research out there about them. I refer you to Bad Kitty on X, Twitter, and also Some Bitch I Know on X, Twitter. They do a lot of research into them. Okay. Thepa Thurzia happens in Tamil Nadu, which basically just confirms that I have the right date for my Mayan New Year. It's happening on the same day. All right. The Amish rebuild 150 bridges in North Carolina. I don't even say that. I have to say in. All right. In January, 1 million immigrants and 8,000 Americans get job. 1 million immigrants, 8,000 Americans. These numbers flip for February because for February. This is for January because this information comes out on the first Friday of the month. Okay. Kendrick Lamar does a Super Bowl interview with Timothy Chalamet. Trump issues executive order banning paper straws, of course. Women kept as slave on human egg farm. This story goes viral. So people say stuff like this doesn't happen. It's not true. CBC, which is in Canada, is melting down over not receiving USAID funds. Another news organization fully subsidized by the United States taxpayer. Outrageous. Peter Strzok's wife, Melissa Hodgman, leaves the SEC. I'm not going to talk Peter Strzok or this. Just horrific. Okay. Social Security to purge rolls of illegals, which is good. Trump fires Kennedy Center chairman and installs himself because the Kennedy Center has been doing all kinds of LGBT crap and really does not have any pro-American nothing in the Kennedy Center. It's been really horrific what they've done. As someone who spent a lot of time at the Kennedy Center as a young person, what they've done to the Kennedy Center is terrible. There's nothing I even want to go there for, to be honest, as beautiful as it is. Okay. Biden loses his security clearance. All people who no longer work for the government should lose their security clearance. We have got to end this. Okay. I hope this comes up. Is a 33rd anniversary of the Redskins Super Bowl win. Kanye suggests celebrities knew about crypto rug pulls. This is also the 33rd anniversary of the Remember the Time video by Michael Jackson. Vote from OMB takes over the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, which is Elizabeth Warren's private organization, in which they did no consumer financial protection at all. As someone who has interacted with them, okay? CNN is kicked out from the Pentagon, which is good. Ukraine envoy is auditing the aid. A black man thanks Trump for getting a construction job. And Scott Pressler asks for Dove, which is Department of Voter Efficiency, to help with some of this voter fraud that's going on, which I do hope will be addressed. I think it's a 2026 issue, because there's lots of elections in 2026. So I do hope that it'll be addressed by then, but we still have a little bit of time. Okay. All right. Saturday, February the 8th, 2025. Trump issues an executive order on South African abuses. Again, this whole thing with the Boers and all of that. Okay. Trump is working to close the carried interest loophole, which allows millionaires and billionaires on Wall Street to get tax credits. Of course, they don't want them to close that loophole. He's like, oh, no, do the other loopholes. Okay. So they're really upset at that. Treasury and Doge install common sense. What does that mean? It means if you issue a payment, you need to put in a code saying why you made the payment. Okay. Black pilot goes viral for having 4 stripes, which is that's a serious pilot, but he looks like a YN. He's got long dreads, silver teeth, fronts, and he looked like he is enjoying his money and his status. And of course, this makes certain white people lose their mind. Okay. Japanese Prime Minister gives Trump a gold samurai helmet, which is amazing. There's an 8.0 earthquake near the Cayman Islands, which is suspicious. Politico is afraid of Vought, really afraid, because they're doing a deep dive to figure out what's going on with all this money. Boomers are refusing to hand over $84 trillion in wealth, and they're going to have to eat it. What they don't know is that they're going to have to spend every dollar of that wealth to take care of themselves, because new wealth is going to be created and their $84 billion is going to be useless, and they're going to have to eat it. USAID did 9/11. Oh my gosh. And led the charge against Ukrainian Orthodox Church, because again, this whole war in Ukraine was about the fact that the Ukrainian Orthodox Church would not go along with Zelensky and what he was doing. And they said no. And basically, that's when Russia had to come in, because they were persecuting the Orthodox Church in Ukraine. And that's Donetsk and Luhansk. Those are Orthodox areas. And so, a lot of these wars, brother wars especially, are over the Orthodox. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau suspends all work rules and investigations. Security clearances are revoked for Alvin Bragg and Letitia James in New York. Why do they have security clearance? Again, why do these people have security clearances? They should not be allowed to have security clearances. All right, Sunday, February the 9th, 2025. Protestant evangelical Republicans start campaign attacking Trump gays. This is the stupidest thing I have ever seen. Just like these pro-life people, I dislike these people so much because their principles are nothing. Like, they have no real principles. They have talking points. And for them to attack people like Scott Pressler and Rick Grinnell and the other gays, like, get over it. Link Lauren, they just start attacking the Trump gays, and I'm like, no, you guys are ridiculous because y'all do all kinds of evil, wicked stuff, and now y'all want to attack them. No sin is greater than any other sin. I don't care what they say. All sin is the same. And Protestant evangelicals, along with alleged pro-lifers, are some of the worst double standard holders there are. Okay. Kanye goes on an unhinged Twitter rant, which is par for the course. Okay. Doge finds irregularities in treasuries, and Trump doesn't go into details on this, but I hope it comes back up. It hasn't yet. As of March 15th, it hasn't, but I think it will. Trump makes today Golf of America Day. The Super Bowl. He makes Super Bowl, this specific Super Bowl, Golf of America Day. This is really important, like, esoterically. All right. Again, Trump becomes the first sitting president to attend the Super Bowl. He actually attends it. 3 North Carolina mountain mules pass away. The mountain mules are the ones that help these people get stuff to some of the people who are in really unreachable areas. They could load stuff on these mules and take them, get people supplies, stuff that they need because they couldn't get out and all of that. So 3 of them tragically pass away. The Super Bowl commercials aren't cringe, which is good. One of the players at the Super Bowl is reading a book called Inner Excellence, which looks really interesting. Kendrick makes Super Bowl history as the first solo rap artist to host or to quote unquote win a Super Bowl, to be the performing artist. And he features Serena Williams there, who's crip walking. He doesn't, only feature he has is SZA, because he does a lot of songs with her, so he brings her out. And I do a whole video on the layout and stuff of the Super Bowl stage set and whatever, and it was actually really, really good. It wasn't over the top. There wasn't a bunch of flashy stuff. He did a good old normal show, and he is also promoting for his tour, so you could definitely tell it was, you get the vibe that the tour is going to be very much like this. Now, the white conservatives, they go on unhinged rants, but we're going to talk about that for the next week of episodes, because these people lose it. They want some Kenny Loggins or whatever, but they just go on an unhinged rant because they refuse to accept that black people are a part of American culture. And this is going to be bad for them, because eventually we are the culture. They're not going to have any culture left, because we like authenticity. And so we're just going to support authentic stuff, and we're just going to not support inauthentic stuff. That's basically what's going to happen. And that will continue to roll out for the rest of the year. Because, of course, Philly saves us from the torture or the tyranny of the Chiefs, and the Philly beats the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, which is a huge story, and I think it's fantastic. So that's the news for February 7th through February 9th, 2025. If you enjoy this kind of content, please feel free to like, comment, share, subscribe. Again, this is the Don't Miss It podcast with your host, Sophia Spiritualite from the MariKaNa News Network. Peace and blessings, and we'll see you in the next podcast.